Hi. Let me just go live on Instagram. And aloha. Aloha from Hawaii. And today I want to share with you some really key insights that I have gathered recently on how to double your income the fun way. Because this is something that I'm actually getting really good at, is doubling my income and also doubling it for my clients too. But most importantly, doing it in a way that's fun, because it's not just about the money, it's about the wealth. And money, it can be easy to make, but it's really important that we do it in a way that brings us wealth. So that isn't sacrificing our health, that isn't sacrificing our happiness and our fulfillment or our relationships. And that is such a personal thing, right? So what are the things that you are giving up now that you're not willing to give up anymore? What are the things that really make you happy, that really bring you fulfillment, that you want to align with the ways that you are making your money? Because ultimately, the way you're making your money is probably for most people where we're spending most of our time. And time is our most valuable resource. So for me, in my journey of doubling my income again and again and again over the last few years, it's been actually hand in hand with aligning myself with more wealth, more happiness, and more fulfillment. And that has really always been my intention. And that's my intention always for my clients, is what is the way that you want to be making money? What is the thing that makes you the happiest? What is the one thing, or the multiple things, if you're a creative, that's really calling for your attention, for your time and your energy and your focus? Because when you align those things, that's when it becomes fun. That's when it becomes easy for you to make more money. That's when you bring the most value, is when you actually honor yourself and you value yourself and what it is that you are bringing to the table that no one else brings to the table, that you do in your way because of your specific life experience, because of all of the skills and the talents that you have and the combination that you have that nobody else to show up in that way, that serve people in a way that nobody else serves them. And I want to share with you the most important things that have really helped me to exponentially increase my income and to do it in a way that just brings me more freedom, brings me more fun, and brings me more fulfillment. And it's really been, and this is why I always succeed at everything I set out to do, is because I try absolutely everything in order to get to my goal. There's nothing that I won't try. That feels good, that feels in alignment, that feels right, that feels intuitively like there's a reason this idea or this opportunity has been brought to my attention. I really pay attention and come at things from a physical, from an action, from an emotional and an energetic and spiritual direction, and make sure that I'm exploring all of those parts to help me to get to a place of more wealth, more fulfillment, more freedom. And honestly, it's been through that approach that has given me a combination of tiny little tweaks and steps and shifts that have had a cumulative effect that has been really, really huge. And it's about continuously focusing on that goal, continuously asking, how can I move more in the direction of this thing that I desire? And taking a baby step in every single moment, every single day, refocusing, coming back, asking questions, asking for help, creating support. And the most important parts of the shifts that I have accomplished within myself, the most important ones have been mental and emotional. Those little tweaks in the inner conversations around money, around my value, around what's possible, around the story that I'm telling myself on repeat every single day, because we're always repeating the story from yesterday, from the day before, from the year before, from, you know, our childhood, from our parents, from the generation before that. We're really handed down stories about what's possible for us, about you know, our relationship with the way that we earn money, the way that we show up in the world, the way we experience relationships, and all of those things intermingle and create behavior patterns. And it's those behavior patterns that dictate the income that we produce and how we produce it. And the next level of understanding that I reached is, you know, it's not just about the actions, it's not just about the stories, it's really about the energy that's behind that, and the way that we are resisting, or the way that we are allowing fear to drive us away from the things that will actually facilitate the change that we're really looking for. So that's why I love spending money on personal development and on working with really incredible healers and coaches and mentors, because consistently creating space for me to find those blind spots, to find that fear and that pain that I'm running from, to resist the change because I think it's going to be the end of the world, because that's just my programming. It's really about finding those little nuggets, those little ways that we self-sabotage, those stories that we're telling ourselves that really aren't true, that are actually holding us back from getting that thing that we really want. And it's really been, you know, an unraveling of all of these layers upon layers of resistance and stories and fears in my relationship to money, in my relationship to myself, in my relationship to my creativity, in my relationship to the rest of the world, and how willing I am to be visible and to show up and to be honest and to be myself and to allow other people into that. It's really been a combination of all of those little ways that we're afraid, all of those little ways that we hold ourselves back, all of those fear stories that we tell ourselves about why something isn't possible for us, which is actually just a fear story trying to keep us safe, because it thinks that on the other side of that, we're going to be persecuted, we're going to be rejected, we're going to be criticized, it's going to be really painful. And those things are really deep. They really run deep. And it's not something that it's not something that we're always aware of, because it's so entrenched in our state of being. And it really does require creating that space, creating that support to navigate through it. And ever since I really committed to that, committed to giving that to myself, my income has just exponentially grown, and in a really easy way. Like, opportunities just started coming to me, obviously because of the way that I was showing up, obviously because of the action I was taking. But sometimes it takes, you know, that one particular shift, that one particular realization that really opens up and expands your perception as to what's possible and makes you feel completely differently about it. So you stop resisting. You stop resisting the opportunities that are there right in before you, ready for you to take them. But when you're so attached to your fear and you're so attached to your story about it not being possible for you, you resent it, you blind yourself to it, you talk yourself out of it. So it's really just in our perspective every single time. Any kind of victim story we have around it being somebody else's fault, it being because we have it harder than anyone else, it being because there aren't enough opportunities, these are all fear stories. And, you know, it can even show up as physical health symptoms. Really good reasons as to why you can't move forward and do the work that you're really, really scared of doing, because there's a story around it, because you're so attached to not showing up and doing that thing that really matters the most to you, because you're so afraid of failing at it. We're funny, us human beings. So that's really what I wanted to share, that it really is possible to have whatever you want now in this moment. It's really a case of shifting the story. And of course, it's, you know, it is that simple, but it's not that simple. You have to show up every day. You have to try and fail. and, you know, never really see anything as a failure. Always see something as an incremental step towards what it is that you want. Danny says her fear stories are preventing her from creating space for me. Yeah, exactly. And that's actually a really, really big one, especially for creative women. How we self-sabotage is to not create the space to look at that pain and to allow those fear stories to bubble up and to really examine them and move past them. So we'll stay really, really, really busy in giving away our time, giving away our energy, working for free, allowing people to overstep our boundaries, because that's less painful to us somehow in our minds than really facing up to the real, the juicy nuggets that we're not looking at because we think it's so painful to look at them. So that's really the number one step, is to create that space. And a really good way to do that is to hire a coach, because when you're paying for it, you're going to show up for it. You know, we're very good at putting in self-care time, you know, blocking time off in our schedules, and actually not showing up for it, and suddenly allowing the to-do list to just completely smother all of that time. So accountability, bringing people in for support, is just the easiest way for us to succeed at creating space for ourselves. And Elizabeth says, not seeing a change in circumstances as a failure. That's a big one too. Right, yeah, exactly. Like, you have to let things go. You have to let things fail in order for the better things to come in. So I never see anything as a failure. Even when I was probably in other people's eyes completely failing at life, financially, in my career, in my personal lives, when I had my burnout, everything came crashing down to the ground and I wasn't really capable of anything. I couldn't really work. I didn't even have a place to live. I was just kind of traveling and trying to figure out a way to earn money that would give me the space and the time to really recover. And, you know, I was far away from my partner and nothing was really working. But in that moment, I knew I was there for a reason. I knew that there was something I had to learn, and I knew I was capable of making that shift, however messy it was. And it was really messy. But, you know, we're always being pulled in the direction of the thing that's meant for us. I really believe that. And we always know what the next step is, whether or not we are acknowledging that for ourselves or not. And the way to really get clear on that is to create space to acknowledge that, because we get really good at talking ourselves out of the thing that we really want, because we've allowed other people to talk us out of it throughout our entire life, because we're really afraid of it. You know, there'll always be a story where there's fear. So Danny says she also coaches women move through womb blocks by showing them tips and helping them heal with Reiki, but she needs to take baby steps and getting certified. She keeps wanting the big picture instead of taking the necessary steps to get there. That sounds amazing, Danny. And just remember that, you know, a lot of the time we get stuck in this conversation of, I'm not good enough yet. I need a certification. I need to be, you know, like a super duper expert before I can start helping people. And that's another way we self-sabotage. And that's another way that we're really afraid of failing, and of proving to ourselves that we're not good enough. And there's always a way for us to help. There's always a way for us to serve. There's always a way for us to create value and to deliver our services and our support, our creativity, whatever it is, in a way that brings value to the world now in this moment. You don't have to get another certification. You don't have to go through like a massive schooling. You can start. There's always a way for you to share the value that you do have now in this moment. And that's a huge one that comes up again and again and again, especially for creative women, especially for artists, especially for healers. This conversation around our lack of value right now in this present moment. And it's really all about changing that conversation, about really allowing yourself to hold a mirror to the stories that are keeping you from moving forward with your work now in this moment, and creating the results, creating the income, creating the impact, and really examining what are those stories, and allowing yourself to go deep in those stories to really see that they're not actually true and they're simply disguising your fear. And you can move past them instantly in this moment and create a completely different result. Everything can change in 24 hours, everything, when you release that resistance. And it's happened to me again and again and again. in suddenly seeing opportunity for more clients to come in, more income to come in, more opportunities, more support. Everything that I need is always available to me in this moment now. And we always have the power to create that. So you're so welcome, Danny. Thank you for watching. And your work sounds amazing. So keep just one step at a time, right? Just keep moving forward one step at a time. The scarier the step, the more progress you're making. So I've got lots of exciting things coming up that will support you in creating that space to really look at your fear stories so that you can move past them now and start creating those results immediately. One of which is my Creative Badass program, which is starting really soon. I have a few spots left. So if you're interested, if you feel like that would support you and this message is resonating with you and you would like to create some of that space to let those fear stories rise to the surface so that we can nip them in the bud now, send me a message and we can book in a call to chat to see if that will be a good fit for you. And that's really a way for you to get my support in stepping into that version of you that feels capable of all of the things that you desire, because you really are. It's really a case of disciplining yourself or devoting yourself to feeling capable and to shifting to the stories, getting really clear on how you show up so that you can create those results, so that you stop resisting, you stop giving into the fear, you stop procrastinating, you stop giving into the busy, whatever it is, whatever your story is for the way that you push your results further and further away and start allowing yourself to have them now. So send me a message if that's resonating with you. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know anything that comes up for you while you're watching this. What is your story? What is that thing that's popping into your head about why you can't have what you want? And send me a message. I would love to hear about it. I would love to be able to support you to move forward and keep doing your work, because it's really important that you do. It's really valuable. Whatever it is that you have to offer, there's a reason you have a desire to do it. So you should do it right now. So thank you so much for watching. Sending you so much love from Hawaii.